In this section, we'll discuss who gets special education services and how. A few upcoming terms to watch out for. An individualized education program, or an IEP, is a legally binding document that explains what special education services your child will get and why. The IEP team consists of parents, regular and special education teachers, school administrators, any specialists, and anyone else you invite to support you and your child in the meeting. Educational benefit refers to student progress over time on appropriate IEP goals, and present levels of performance refers to your child's current abilities based on assessments and progress monitoring. Children from birth to age 21 may qualify for special education services, and the services depend on your child's age and other factors, and they're individualized. Infants and toddlers from birth to age 2 receive services primarily consisting of assisting families to support their children with disabilities. If the regional center finds your child has a developmental disability, an individual family service plan, or IFSP, is then created. And if the school district finds your child has a vision, hearing, or orthopedic impairment, an IFSP is also created. You can contact your local regional center or school district if you have concerns about your infant or toddler's development, or you think they might have a disability. Children ages 3 to 21 can qualify for special education services if an IEP team finds one of the following educational disabilities. The categories are autism, deaf and blindness, hard of hearing, emotional disturbance, other health impairment, speech or language impairment, traumatic brain injury, deafness, intellectual disability, multiple disabilities, orthopedic impairment, specific learning disability, or visual impairment. If the IEP team finds a child is eligible, it then identifies the specialized services, accommodations, and supports the child will need to make progress in school. The eligibility decision asks 3 questions. 1, does the child have one or more of the 13 educational disabilities mentioned? And 2, does the disability negatively affect their learning? And 3, does the impact of the disability require special education services for the child to meaningfully benefit from school? The first part of the process is the referral. Either you or someone else, if they think your child has a disability, can make a written request for special education assessment. Then if the district agrees to assess your child, an assessment plan based on learning concerns and suspected disability is sent to the parent for approval within 15 days of receiving the referral in writing. Then the assessment period begins, and it's completed within 60 days of receiving the signed assessment plan. All parent-consented assessments are done within 60 days of school receiving parent signature. Parents are encouraged to discuss assessment results with the district staff prior to the IEP meeting whenever possible. Then the IEP team meeting happens, and the IEP team decides whether your child is eligible for special education. And IEP is usually then developed at the same time the meeting is held for eligible students. Then the IEP is developed. If your child is eligible, the IEP team decides on needs, goals, services, and supports, and the parents sign consent when they agree to the IEP. Then the IEP is implemented, and the school follows the IEP. Then the staff provides progress reports. Each year, an annual review IEP is held, and the case manager schedules the IEP at an agreeable time between the family and the school staff. Parents may invite anyone else to the meeting for support. The IEP is then updated as needed, and the parents sign the consent to agreed items. Every 3 years, a reevaluation of eligibility happens, and the parent is given a new assessment plan for their signature. The case manager then schedules the IEP meeting. Remember, your written consent is required for assessments to start. Your written consent is also required for services to start, change, or stop. IEPs are reviewed every year to ensure your child is making progress and to adjust goals and services as necessary. You may ask for additional IEP meetings, and the meeting must be held within 30 days of the school receiving your request. Your child is entitled to be reevaluated every 3 years to decide if there are any changes to eligibility. Here are some tips to prepare for your IEP meeting. Get informed. Speak with the staff who assess your child and ask any questions to understand what may be recommended. Get support when needed. Gather information about your child's disability, their needs, and support options. School staff, parent groups, agencies, advocates, and others can provide ideas and support. Keep good records. Create a binder of your child's information that may help during the meeting. And be prepared. Take notes, list your questions and concerns, prepare your requests, and be prepared to also listen to suggestions from the team.